afternoon, everyone. Today we have a very special guest at Nepali Times. Please welcome Dr. Anusa Thapa. She's the CEO of Bibeksheel Nepali. Hi, welcome to Nepali Times.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let me start just by asking you, can you briefly describe Bibeksheel Nepali? What is Bibeksheel Nepali? Is it a youth group? Is it an entrepreneurial hub? Or how would you or is it a political party?
Bibeksheel Nepali came about with the realization of civic society activists and many citizens from different sectors that the roots of all evil is due to the political culture of the country. Hence, in order to get rid of this existing corruption and incompetency, we need to make sure that competent leadership comes into power, and citizens also have to be responsible. Hence, Bibeksheel Nepali, in its name itself, Bibeksheel means your conscience, knowing morally what is right and wrong. So we want to incorporate this kind of thinking capability in all our citizens and in our leadership, so that we are all working towards one common good for the country, knowing what is right and wrong but in our actions. So that is, in introduction to Bibeksheel Nepali, that is how we came into a movement, and then we registered ourselves as a political party, which is now about 2.5 years. And since then, we have been embarking on our journey more politically. And you mentioned something about being a social group or an entrepreneurial hub. In terms of social group, our goal or our belief or our vision is every government has to be service-oriented. The government has to be a public servant. Hence, when we do social work, we're trying to say that you have to lead by example. By doing service, you are saying that we are here for you, citizens, and we will not stop when we go into power. That's what we've been practicing, this vision of ours from ground level, from now. And we believe in an entrepreneurial society in terms of how a society should run. We should be creating opportunities for each other. The government has just as much responsibility in this. Hence, a balanced role between the government and the citizen creates an entrepreneurial society. These are the ways or the kind of belief that we have and the level of action we have that makes it look like we're one or the other. But we truly believe that unless you're a servant government and entrepreneurial society, we will not be able to have the prosperous nation that we believe or we want within our lifetime.
As a political party, you follow an ideology of pragmatic reform.
Yes.
And there are a lot of changes that you want to make happen. But for that, you need to have a seat in the parliament. I'm sorry, no
Yes,
offense, but
yes.
you don't have any right now. So how are these changes going to happen?
Thank you for your question. That's a very good question. For us, we believe that before you go into power, you need to know how to deliver. So if you are not able to deliver from grassroots or from the beginning, then there's questions about when you reach power, are you really going to deliver the kind of visions or the policies that you've been advocating about. And even now, if you look at our current situation of the government or the parliaments, in anti-corruption movement itself, I don't think there's been any major parliamentary force that was able to back Dr. Govinda Keshi's case or movement to get rid of the very corrupted Lokman Singh Karki. It was through movements like Bibeksheel Nepali and other ordinary citizens who did solidarity for Dr. G. Keshi, who pressured the government into making sure that corrupted individuals are being eliminated. So it came from people's power instead. and that's democracy. We believe till now that democracy has to come from the top level, which is the government. However, democracy really says the power lies in the people, in the citizens. Hence, Bibeksheel Nepali has been practicing citizen re-engagement or empowerment. The power lies in the citizens. You need to speak up. Politics is not a dirty game. And from there, we make sure that the society are just as mentally aware of all these political responsibilities that they have. So, even the Dr. Govinda Kesey's movement has brought about many different awareness in terms of society and government level. You see that more students are being aware of the kind of medical schools there are, and they're no longer thinking that I should enroll into a medical school just because I can, but they're aware that certain political corruption lies behind a very important subject as medical education. And the government is also, I think, very aware of the consequences now. A lot of voices are being raised in different ways. So I would say, even though we have not been in the seat in parliamentary level, we have had a very good consequence on the psychology of the ordinary people as well as the leaders.
Well, you did mention Dr. Govinda Kesey, and you have out in the public pledged your alliance with Dr. Kesey's campaign. But given that our Prime Minister, on the very next day that the fast ended, went back on his words, and the pressure that even Kapan University is facing right now, what are the results? Like, okay, awareness is there. Psychologically, okay, fine, like the people, but like, what other results do you expect, and or we can see from it?
On the part where our Prime Minister went back on his words, what happened was it was founded that he had made a deal about being affiliated to one of the medical college in Java, but it has not really been finalized till now, and this is because a lot of civil society activists and a lot of common people have raised their voices and pressured the government that if he does that, then the question about him being a prime minister and signing legal documents is going to really disappoint the common people, and we're going to question his credibility as a prime minister. So there has been some updates on him doing certain things that he said he would not, but it has not been finalized yet, and I think it's because of the consequence of what was raised during Dr. GKC's movement, and also even now we are still in a way being like a watchdog, kind of pressuring and telling him that, or showing that we will not back out in this movement. This is a very vital movement for us. Anti-corruption is a very vital movement for us. Just as we were supporting Kulman Gising's movement yesterday, we support him and we will not tolerate any kind of corruption. So the discontinuity of our protest or our peaceful pressure is to show that forces like ours and the common people will continue. Hence, leadership that are on the top positions should always make sure before they go on and kind of go back on their words that we will keep pressurizing and we will not keep quiet. So
I'm going to move a little away from all the politics, but for the kind of work you're doing, for any political party or any organization, funding is really important. So how do you get your funding? Where does it come from?
So we have it in, I'll kind of explain to you in 3 different ways. The first one is through our membership fee and personal contribution of our members. Second is all supporters who are Nepali. And third is through our campaigns. So for each campaign that we run, we do crowdsourcing and we appeal for funds Just yesterday's campaign for Kulman Gising, we were able to raise 6,000 rupees on the ground. And this is how we keep on appealing to the mass that if you support our movement or our cases, then you should invest in us as well, because this is for everyone, not just for Bibeksheel Nepali as a party. So it's through our members, supporters who are Nepali, and for those who are supporting us through our campaigns, crowdsourcing.
Let's get into a little. Let's talk a little about you. I mean, you don't really have a background in politics. I mean, you graduated in life sciences,
Yes.
and how did you get into politics?
Thank you for your question. Even though I was never directly exposed to politics, since I was little, I always wanted to serve the people, serve poor people, basically, and I was always attached to Nepal being my home country. I didn't grow up in Nepal, but the place where I grew up in had the best of all facilities and education, and I felt very privileged in a way. And when I learned about Nepal and the beautiful country we have, and yet there's so much poverty and sadness and hardship, it always made me feel like I have to do something for the country. So in a way, my dreams or wishes from when I was little was political in nature. But when I grew up and when I realized that I was better in a certain field in education, then I wanted to get the best of the education there. So my formal education was more in the physical sciences. After I finished or completed my degree, I realized that for me to immediately make a difference in that level, it might take me another decade or more. I don't even know when, how soon. So when I got the opportunity to work with Bibeksheel Nepali, this change that I wanted to see in Nepal was very clear. I could feel that if people like them and I could get together, then the change for the country that I envisioned would come faster. So I wanted to be one of the starter. So I was a follower of Bibeksheel Nepali, but if more people can jump into the ship with me, then we will set a certain kind of trend and a momentum. And at the end of the day, science is very universal. You can apply it in different dimensions. The variables are different, but at the end, the reasoning are all the same. So I believe that no matter whatever part of life we are in, politics is for good people, and we should always look at it in a very clean way, in a very respectful way, and do whatever you can to help.
Bibeksheel Nepali is no doubt a very different sort of a political party, but there are certain quarters that say that Bibeksheel Nepali is a party of the elites or the elites. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, we have heard this before, and first, what I would like to say is a lot of our supporters or followers are educated, and it's because our vision are more appealing to them because they realize the roots of all evil in Nepal is due to the political culture, and this political culture arose because there were no competent leadership, and they were also educated people also kind of compared it to the best of all of the world's practices, and that is why they get more attracted to us. But truthfully, if you look at our history or our past, Bibeksheel Nepali researched on what are the dreams of common people in Nepal. Before we started on our political journey, we traveled all 14 zones of Nepal through foot, and in a group we went around from the east to the west, and we asked one simple question to all common people in Nepal. We asked them, what is your dream? What is your dream for your family? What is the dream for your country? And from these dreams that we collected, we formed our vision, our philosophy, and our ideology. Hence, what I want to say is that even though we do look like, we're being kind of ruled by mainly elites, our foundation was built by asking common people about what their dreams are, what their needs are. Then only we formed our ideologies.
Elections, of course, are likely to happen next year. So, what are your plans for the elections, and how do you plan on maintaining the transparency?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yes, local election is a major work for us right now. We're working really hard on it. And before we talk about how we're planning to go about local elections, I would like to talk about what are the issues that Bibeksheel Nepali believes are important for elections. And the first is constitutional. In our constitution, we believe that the federal states has to be divided into 3 different states so that there's equal distribution of the natural resources between the Himal, the Pahat, and Tarai region. And this way there's harmony and equal relationship between our citizens, and the economic disparities also reduced. Second, we believe that the government has to be more stable, which we haven't had for the last few decades. Hence, a directly elected prime minister is important at this stage. The other issue that we feel that the constitution should work on is the fact that administrative bureaucracy has not changed, and we need a government that is servant, and hopefully a system that is excellent and deliverable to the citizens. And next is about development. How do we make sure that development of the society is being done? We feel that for this, there are 2 important factors. It's the people, the common people, and the resources that we have, the natural as well as the acquired resources that we have. How do we manage this? How do we work on handling these resources to the benefit of our citizens and to the benefit of the overall growth of the country? We believe in clean resources being utilized in a certain budget, and in that budget you need to be able to deliver the plans that you worked out in the beginning. Hence, for this we have been working on an entrepreneurial society where you are creating opportunities all the time. The government is and the citizens are having a balanced role in creating opportunities so that the country has economic prosperity. At the same time, the citizens are being included into the political decision making, which is what democracy stands for. And right now, in terms of how are we exactly planning to go about local elections, we are standing or fighting in areas or cities where we are strong in, where we have majority of our leadership as well as resources. We are strategically working out these plans through our internal surveys. And as far as transparency of these processes, I think in terms of activities regarding the campaigns, we have it publicized on our Facebook and also in our website as much as possible. And also, if anyone is curious about learning more about what our election plans are, we are more than happy to give you a report or share these ideas with you. So, and obviously financial transparency is always updated on our website. So in that regard, we are held responsible by our own system.
Thank you so much, Anusa, for joining us. It's been so great talking to you.
Same here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great telling you more about Bibeksheel Nepali and our plans.